Today, I've got Glenn Richardson, commonly referred to in the Goldfields and the electrical industry as Richo. You're a testament to where I am today due to giving me my first bloody run in the Goldfields, so thank you very much.
No problems, mate.
Mate.
Been a pleasure.
Well, that's actually where I met you,
Exactly, yeah.
2013,
Yeah.
January. Go in there and pretend like you know what you're doing. Fuck, not a problem. That'll be easy.
You'd be good at that. Yeah.
Yeah, bloody oath. I remember
Absolutely.
going out for my first call out and I was driving from the camp to the plant and I thought, I was freaking out. I was just like, what am I going to do here? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
And all I had to do was go up and push the button in on the bloody lanyard switch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know,
Yep, exactly.
so fix the lanyard,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
plant's back up and running again.
Yeah.
I thought I was a fucking superstar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode on the Gold Room podcast. Today, I've got Glenn Richardson, commonly referred to in the Goldfields and the electrical industry as Richo. Mate, thanks for joining me.
My pleasure, mate. Great to see you.
It's been a long time, hasn't it, mate?
Absolutely, yeah.
Since we're sitting
Absolutely.
across. It was years ago, it was frothies. Now it's a couple of waters and, for me, a bloody creatine energy drink.
But we'll drink to that
Yeah,
anyway.
bloody oath. Good to see you again, mate. Mate, so you've watched a few episodes and I guess you're a testament to where I am today due to giving me my first bloody run in the Goldfields. So thank you very much.
No problems, mate.
Mate.
Been a pleasure.
We start with the life and the times, as you know. So
Yes.
let's get into the early years. Kambalda, Kalgoorlie, Glenn Richardson, where did you start?
Yeah, well, I suppose it all started in 1965, born in Mount Lawley in Perth. And my family moved out to Kambalda 1971. And then, I went to school in Kambalda. And high
Kambalda
school in
Senior High School?
Kambalda, yeah, primary school, senior high school. And then,
Do you remember what Kambalda was like back then? You know,
Yeah.
in the 70s, it was hustle and bustle.
that was the Western Mining days. So it was a Western Mining owned town. So the Western Mining was the primary operator, the primary miner. They owned the township. So it was a mining town, and it was thriving. It was a great place to do an apprenticeship. And Kambalda, everything that was developed there was by Western Mining back in those days. So
Yeah, I always hear a lot of good things about Western Mining.
it was fantastic organisation and place to do an apprenticeship. But that's pretty jumping ahead. So yeah.
Yep, so high school years.
Yeah, so high school years, so through the 70s into the early 80s. Again, it was a great place to go to school, and there was a lot of opportunities with apprenticeships. So I was 15, so at the end of year 10, was lucky enough to get an apprenticeship as an instrument technician.
Awesome.
With Western Mining. Great place to do an apprenticeship. Fantastic workshops. Every trade you could think of, I got an opportunity. My very first pay back in those days, $114.38
For the week.
cash for a fortnight.
Wow.
For a
Cash and
fortnight.
a little bloody envelope.
Yeah, a little yellow envelope. And on your way home on a Friday, you go up to the pay cashier's window and grab your little envelope and off you
Wow.
go. So yeah, $114 for a fortnight's work.
Times have bloody changed now, eh?
Just a little bit. Yeah. But it was a fantastic place to do a trade. So
So you did a 4-year apprenticeship?
yeah, 4-year apprenticeship.
In instrumentation?
Yeah, as an instrument technician. So we were part of the electrical workshop in the workshops down there. So I think 2 years into the apprenticeship, because Dad was an ambulance driver or an ambulance officer for the Kambalda ambulance depot, and he got transferred to Perth as part of the St John's. So at that time, I think I was in a relationship with a young lady by the name of Beth, who's now we've been married for nearly 40 years.
Wow,
So
congratulations.
I moved to Kalgoorlie and would commute then every day for the last part of my apprenticeship.
Yep.
From Kalgoorlie to Kambalda.
What sites were you working at down in Kambalda?
Mainly in the concentrator, in the nickel
Okay.
concentrator. Occasionally we'd go out to some of the mining sites, working on some instrumentation or some of the little comms systems and stuff.
Yep.
Back in but back in those days, the instrument trade was very different to what it is now. I was lucky enough to be on the cusp of the change between pneumatic to electronic. In the early days of instrumentation, it was all, they used to call us puff and blows because it was all pneumatic indication, pneumatic measurement. So it was all based on 3 to 15 psi. Yep. was the reference for 0 to 100%. And then as my trade or my apprenticeship was developing, electronics was starting to make an impression.
Into the 4 to 20.
Yeah, so then they started calling us 4 to 20s in reference to the 4 to 20 milliamp signal. So in those days, a control loop was an individual standalone, electronic controller, and we'd manually adjust it to tune the loop. And we had recorders that had paper in them and actual ink, like plotting on for charts to see what was going on with the process. And so technology's changed significantly, as you can imagine, over the years. So
into a throwaway society.
Yeah.
With a lot of the instrumentation now, it's
so
before you'd repair it, you'd repair it, and then now it's mass produced. And
exactly. Yeah, we
take one out.
We used to swap something out and we'd rebuild it and put it in a plastic bag ready to be used once the other one fails or an instrument fails in another area. But these days there's not a lot of the repair. It's more replace. And
so what happened when you got to Kalgoorlie?
Yeah, so so I continued the apprenticeship and finished that. Then I spent a couple of years still in Kalgoorlie working for a company called Foxborough.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, they were a massive American instrumentation company that were part of that forefront of the electronic industry, taking over. So travelling around the Goldfields, through Leonora and Laverton and Menzies and that sort of area, working for them as a technician, a field technician.
You would have got to see some bloody awesome sites, eh?
Yeah.
Awesome mine sites, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, the gold industry is very similar today, but obviously the automation and the process control side has improved in leaps and bounds.
Yep.
A lot of times, those days there was no internet. You couldn't jump on and YouTube on how to do something. You'd have to read the manuals and work out what you're going to do when you get there.
Hopefully they were in English.
Yeah. So technology's improved significantly over those 40 plus years that I've been in the industry.
So you're also a dual trader though, aren't you, mate? So you got your Sparkies ticket.
Yeah. So I spent a number of years sort of working in instrumentation, telemetry, communications, so like pipe leakage monitoring and that sort of stuff. And 2008. I thought I'd be good to get back on the tools into my core trade, so I applied for an opportunity with KCGM's Fimiston processing plant, and they gave me an opportunity as a senior instrument technician with them. And as part of that, they agreed to put me through my full electrical licence because as an instro, you only had a restricted electrical licence. So I got my full electrical licence while working with KCGM. And then they put
What was that like in the early days, KCGM, the processing plant? Because that's just got massive, hasn't it?
Oh, it was fairly big then, and now it's getting bigger again, doubling it in size again to what it was. I mean, it's something like back in those days it was like 20 switch rooms with MCCs, and I think it's going to be double that again with the new expansion going on. But they put me through my HV licence, my HV training, and I got a lot of experience around HV switching and had an opportunity to do some shift coverage, so shift Sparky. Learn how to use your shift Sparky.
Copy.
Yeah, that's it.
Where are you, mate? You're hiding in the bloody MCC in the crib room.
But no, that was a fantastic experience, and
cool.
I really enjoyed it. So.
And what about after that?
Yeah, so after KCGM, I got an opportunity with TIS. Initially, TIS Recruitment. I was asked to come in as a role to work in the recruitment side, helping with running their shutdowns and
what was that like?
Generally running that business. Yeah.
Going from a tradesman to that's a bit of a segue.
Yeah, I'd done quite a bit of business management prior to going back on the tools at KCGM, so I had some exposure to sort of managing people and managing business and bottom lines and trying to make a business succeed financially as well. So it wasn't huge shift. The recruitment was a different beast.
Trying to find good people. And put them in good roles with great companies.
Yeah, exactly. And also building shutdown teams. Making sure people were doing the right things because a lot of that was around safety and making sure the right people were doing the right things for the tradesmen on the jobs during shutdown. So quite an important role. But you had to get the right people and make sure that they were across what they needed to do to look after people.
Yeah. Well, that's actually where I met you.
Exactly, yeah.
2013,
Yeah.
January.
Yeah.
I think maybe
Yeah.
January the 22nd, I walked into 22nd, 23rd.
Yeah, yeah.
2013, walked into TIS Recruitment office with Ollie Janae. And I started working at Fimiston.
Yeah, so probably going to shut down.
Yep.
Yeah,
Put me on a
yep,
shutdown
yep.
and at the primary crusher.
Yeah, okay.
So
yep.
it was a little bit hectic. I had no idea about mining, but someone at TIS, I think it was Lisa.
Yeah. Lisa was part of the team.
Yeah, she said go in there and pretend like you know what you're doing. Fuck, not a problem. That'll be easy.
You'd be good at that. Yeah,
yeah, bloody oath. Yeah, it was awesome. It was what a company. So that gave me my crack, gave me my start.
Yeah, well, the recruitment side was one thing. A sort of true natural attrition through people that knew me in the industry reached out to ask if we could provide them some support back more on the electrical and instrumentation side of things. Like the city at the time approached me. So that led to the development of TIS engineering, which is where I needed people to help me do some of the work that we were doing, which is where I used you as a TA. I needed to, because I had an electrical license, but I wasn't a nominee. And you can't employ an apprentice unless you're an electrical nominee. So I then had the opportunity to get put through as a electrical nominee. So we established an EC for TIS, and we had a couple of other guys that followed through as an apprentice as part of that organisation. I think over the years I've had 12 apprentices now that go all the way under me as an electrical nominee or electrical supervisor. So
yep,
which
awesome.
I'm quite proud of. So yeah.
Did Jared Price make his way through in the end?
He did, yes.
Did he?
Yeah,
Awesome.
Did. Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. So no, he completed his apprenticeship.
Yep, well done.
Yeah,
well
I think
done.
the last time I ran into him, he was working for Orica.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not sure if he's still there or not, but
I see some of his artwork around the Goldfields.
Paddy's.
Yeah,
yes,
that's right.
a big piece on the wall at
awesome.
Paddy's restaurant. Yeah.
Little JP signed at the bottom.
Yeah,
it's pretty bloody awesome.
Yeah.
And then from TIS Recruitment on to Red Desert Cooling?
Yeah, Red Desert Cooling and Electrical. Yeah.
So was it Red Desert Cooling and Electrical before you started?
No. So it was Red Desert Cooling.
Yep.
Yeah. So then when there was an opportunity, which was an association or a tie through TIS, got to know Adam, the owner of Red Desert. So and he talked to me about coming on board to develop the electrical side, so that they weren't having to contract out the electrical side for an air conditioning installation. So
yep.
So Red Desert then morphed into, it was back in, because I was there for 7.5 years. So I think he'd been in Kalgoorlie for 3 odd years before that, just in refrigeration and air conditioning.
Yep.
So then we established the electrical side, and I became their EC, or their electrical nominee.
Yep.
And and continued with the apprentices sort of from that day on with them as well. So.
And you enjoyed your role there?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
And what was the move to Sage Industrial Automation?
Yeah, so again, the tie with Sage came through Red Desert.
Okay.
As part of the electrical side, electrical instrumentation side of Red Desert, we had some opportunities with projects like pumping stations, maintenance for the city of Kalgoorlie on the control side and the process, engineering, PLCs, automation, that sort of thing. So I worked with them while at Red Desert for around 5 years, working on different projects and maintenance support through their specialties. And then they approached me as I was getting closer to retirement and asked me if I'd be interested in working as a BD consultant for them in a part-time role.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's sort of where that's.
So how long have you been with Sage?
So in an actual this current capacity, I started with him January this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as a business development manager?
Yeah, so like a BD consultant to sort of help with my industry knowledge and my contacts in the Goldfields. They got a fairly large, nationally and internationally they're fairly large. They've got around 800 people in their organisation. They've got offices in Perth and Adelaide, Sydney, Melbourne.
You were saying 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they're operational?
Yeah, well, they've got a
tech support,
what they call the NOC, the National Operations Centre, which is based in South Australia, which is where Sage originated from back in 1994. So they've been around for just over 30 years now.
Yep.
So yeah, they've got in the National Operations Centre, they've got technicians there 24/7, can provide client support through remote access and also supporting their own team, all their technicians on the ground. They've got a lot of expertise.
So that's
at the
awesome.
NOC, available, as you say, 24/7, which is pretty good support.
Bloody oath. Mate, looking back over your illustrious career, is there any standout jobs, standout projects that you've been involved in?
Standout projects. Building pump stations, working with companies like Aber Engineering in Kalgoorlie, building something from the ground up, being involved in the quoting side of things, the design, then installation, then through to working with guys like Sage to commission it and get the job over the line. It's very satisfying to do a job from start to finish. Yeah, absolutely.
What about my highlight? I remember at TIS Engineering was the I believe it was the 26th of December, a call out to the wastewater treatment station in Kalgoorlie.
Well, it wouldn't have been Emil calling you that.
Emil. It was Emil calling me
out.
out, and I thought, what have I done with my life? Because I'm just at a shit pond and having to pull out a pump and replace a pump.
Very, very, very important.
Who was that? Who was the
society? We've got
who was the mechanical
got to
crowd?
keep it flowing.
For sure, certainly are there. Who was the Cam Pate from Cal Pumps?
Cal Pumps, yes.
Cal Pumps, that's
Cal
right.
Pumps, yeah.
Yes, old Cam Pate came out and helped me out on that particular day.
Toby's still there at Cal Pumps. Yeah,
he sure is.
Yeah.
What's the best lesson do you think you've learned about people across, the recruitment, working with other businesses, business owners, and putting all these apprentices through their trade?
Probably the biggest thing is getting a feel for what makes people tick, and everyone's different. Yep. You'd probably relate, and you need to learn how to communicate with people at how they respond.
Yep.
Not so much at their level. That's not the. But you've got to be able to judge your audience and know how to communicate and how to get the best out of people. And with apprentices over the years, you learn that they all tick differently, and
people learn differently, don't they?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Some people you've got to push a bit harder, and others it's just a totally different way to interact with them to get the best out of them. And you learn over the years how to get in their heads and how to make them to react the way you want them to for their benefit, and so how they learn and. Get the best out of people. So that's probably been one of the bigger ones. Yeah.
So from that, I guess there's what advice would you give to someone starting out in Kalgoorlie today, or Kalgoorlie or anywhere in Australia?
Yeah. Attitude. It's all about attitude. Showing and having a good attitude, and being willing to listen, and listen to what the old fellas have got to say. And not, one of the worst things working with young fellas is if they think that they know, or they're afraid to say that they don't know.
Yep.
And then you're trying to tell them something and it's like, oh yeah, I know. Okay, well, I'm not going to tell you.
Yep.
And that's the worst thing they can do.
Yeah. Well, that's dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly
absolutely.
Certainly in the mining industry.
Yeah.
Just to be saying yes, yes,
and especially in the electrical industry.
Most definitely. I actually remember working with a bloke called Jatin. You might not remember him. Do you remember him?
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
He came out to he was a sparky. Came out to a mine site, and all he said was yes, yes. And I went into a supervisor's office and I said, I don't know if this bloke can bloody speak English, but he's here as a sparky. And sure enough, I just started asking him all these questions, and everything he should have been saying no to, he was saying yes to. Mate, so you're in active retirement now.
Yep.
What does that entail?
Yeah, it's different.
Because you've always been to get up and go.
Yeah.
So how do you dial it back?
Yeah, I'm learning to enjoy it. I still keep pretty busy.
Yeah, okay.
With the role I'm doing with Sage, I sort of try and structure it a couple of days a fortnight, where I'm sort of dialed in and client calls and following up on leads and that sort of stuff. But you've still got to stay on top of your emails. So there's it's a little bit most days. But geez, it's nice to be able to relax and kick back a bit. And if you need to be in Perth for a couple of weeks for family reasons or whatever, you don't have that structure, and you can. In this day and age, we have Teams meetings, and you can be anywhere.
Yeah, awesome.
And plan to travel. And
where are you going to go? Are you going to get a caravan, shoot around the country?
And it'll probably be more sort of cruises and trips
nice.
to Europe and
Oh, well, you worked hard, Richard.
Yeah,
you deserve it.
Yeah, trip to Hawaii and that sort of stuff.
When are you going to Hawaii?
Probably this time next year.
Okay, nice.
To a little bit of the US and around Hawaii.
Beth deserves it too, with the amount of time that she's been at home and
keeping me on track.
Exactly, bloody oath.
Yeah, spending time with grandkids. We got
how many grandkids?
6 grandkids now. So
wow.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, bloody oath.
Yeah,
bloody oath. That'd keep everyone quite happy.
Yeah,
it's great. I can imagine. Like obviously with the kids, you've got to look after them day in day out. With the bloody grandkids.
Oh,
when you're over them, you hand them off, right?
Yeah, well,
they're crying or a nappy needs changed. See you later, mate.
Well, my saying is that grandchildren are the reward for having children.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so you get a lot of joy, and if they get a little bit hard to manage, it's hey, mum and dad.
Bloody oath, mate. Bloody oath. With your journey to date, what would be the biggest piece of advice or perspective that you have on the industry that you'd like to pass on?
From a tradesman background, it's probably one, don't keep things simple. One of the that's probably a key learning in the electrical and instrumentation industry is not to go down rabbit holes, and just dial things back and keep things nice and simple. And it's one of the lessons I always pass on to the young apprentices and the junior tradesmen is, don't look for things that aren't there. Yeah. Keep things simple.
Yeah, it's crazy what your mind will do. I remember going out for my first call out, and I was driving from the camp to the plant, and I thought, I was freaking out. I was just like, what am I going to do here? What's going to happen? And I get in there, and I thought, oh shit, I'm going to have to rewire the whole plant. This is wild. It's going to be intense. And all I had to do was go up and push the button in on the bloody lanyard switch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So
exactly.
fix the lanyard.
Yeah,
and plant's back up and running again. Yeah. I thought I was a fucking superstar.
Yeah,
but that's just a testament to slowing it down. Keep understand.
Step back a little bit. Yeah,
keep it simple, stupid, mate.
Yeah, that's it. It's a great philosophy.
Bloody oath.
And it probably goes across a lot of industries, but particularly in the electrical and the instrumentation, automation industry.
Yeah. And something, give us something for building relationships as a BDM.
So what would I say? I mean, building relationships is about being genuine, being real. And if you make a commitment, follow through on that commitment. Don't make promises you can't keep, and try and listen and understand the problems and find solutions.
Yep. That's beautiful, mate.
And that'll get you in their good books and get you opportunities time and time again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Well, Richo, thanks very much for coming in and spending some time with me, mate. The great thing about this is you've obviously coming in again to co-host an episode with me. So thank you very much for that. It'll be bloody ripper. We've actually got a lineup of some amazing guests. So we've been doing this for 9 odd months now, and people are calling us up now to say, or sending me messages on LinkedIn, or sending the team messages saying, like what you're doing. That's actually how Mega Resources came on board as a partner to help us along. They said, really like what you're doing. It's great for the industry. You've had some great guests on. We want to support you to keep doing that.
Well done. Keep it going.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Well, everyone, thank you very much for tuning into another episode on the Gold Room podcast. Hope you liked Richo's interview. Keep an eye out, because of the next couple of episodes, Richo will be back to co-host another episode with me. Thanks very much.